Good morning, everyone. I thought I would do kind of a vloggy thing this week. I get all these requests from people saying, what do you do in a day? What do you do in a week? And I can't really do what I do in a day because y'all would be so bored. Half the time I sit at home and I'm filming videos, but I thought I would take the opportunity to maybe show you some of the things that I do during the week and kind of give you a little sneak peek into my week. Wow, that all rhymed, and it's kind of early in the morning. I'm having my cup of coffee. I need to have my cup of coffee before I can even practically talk, and I'm actually having a hard time talking. I am having a super lazy day today. I'm in my PJs, but this is Saturday, so I'm kind of filming a week between Saturday and Friday because of the timing of the videos and when I put them out and when I have to edit. Since I've been retired, there really isn't kind of like a weekend because, you know, every day is a weekend. So what I do is on a real weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, I lounge around in my PJs. And I also just kind of like don't do anything special. I get up, I just have like my coffee. I don't have breakfast right away when I get up. I'm just not hungry at 8 o'clock in the morning. Today I'm going to Shoppers Drug Mart and for all of the American folks, that is kind of like your, I don't know, CVS or Walgreens or whatever your big drugstores are. I have a $50 gift card that I received when I bought something there quite a while ago, and I want to buy my favorite body wash. In any case, that's what I'm doing in this video. Welcome here, I'm Raina. This is Small Retired Life, and here we talk about retirement and living our life in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. So if you're new, welcome here. And this is a bit of a departure for me. I don't usually do vlogs. I don't usually film vlogs. I don't know how to vlog, but I thought I would experiment because summer is coming and I want to keep things a little bit more chill for the summer. So welcome to my home. Alright, so I am back from Shoppers Drug Mart and I will show you a little bit later on, maybe tomorrow actually, in tomorrow's little vloggy session, what I bought and what I'm excited about lately. So I am going on a 5K walk. I go every Sunday with my friend Kathy and we go to Bonus Park and we do a loop. I don't really film. I mean, I'm gonna try and maybe take something along the walk if it's interesting, but we just kind of power through 5K. And I love it. It's something we plan every Sunday morning if we're here, because we both kind of travel and we're in different places every now and then. So whenever we're here, we do this and pretty much just get our workout done on Sunday morning and get it out of the way. So I will see you all after I get back. Oh, okay, I got back from my walk. I'm exhausted. I need a shower, but I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. So I'm just having the Costco Greek yogurt. Now, when I did my Costco haul, I had the organic Greek yogurt that I bought from them. And this is their kind of typical Greek yogurt because they were out of the other one. I don't really care which one I buy as long as it's Greek yogurt, and I'm having that with some strawberries on top and some blueberries on top. I also will likely put a few of my Costco frozen strawberries in here just to amp up the strawberry value of the yogurt. You have seen me do this breakfast over and over again, and so this is pretty much the same thing. So I won't bore you with the process because you have all seen the process. I'm just going to wash my fruit, cut it in, and show you the end result. Now I had to go buy some strawberries at Safeway because I ran out of my Costco strawberries the other day. So I did have to make an extra stop at Safeway just actually before I came home. There's a Safeway that is on the way from the bonus park. Road construction was epic today. Typical Calgary, as soon as the weather gets nicer, pretty much every road is closed and it takes you like 3 times as long to get anywhere. These blueberries are like, I don't know, they're like epic. I don't even know if you can see them, but they're huge. I don't even know how they get them that huge. I'm gonna have to wash these because it says they're pre-washed, but yeah, I don't trust any of that. And I just dropped one. So I am going to do a quick rinse of them. What I do when I don't actually use the frozen berries from Costco is I put a little tiny bit of honey, like not a lot, on my yogurt bowl because none of the strawberries are ever like really super sweet or yummy. I think that's just what happens when you live in a country where it's winter most of the time and everything gets shipped in. And I'm going to put just like a drizzle of honey, and I use this honey which I got at Costco actually a little while back, and that's all I need is just a tiny drizzle. I'm going to put a little bit of my granola on top of this. I really have to like portion this out because I could go crazy, and even though I don't put a lot of sugar into my granola, you know, it just, I like put in a scant couple of tablespoons, and I make sure that only one of the tablespoons has a piece of dried fruit in it, so I don't make it too sugary. Anyways, that is what my breakfast looks like. Not sure if you can see that. I'm going to mash it up, make it all not pretty, and I'm going to eat my breakfast. So I finished my breakfast and I'm in my bedroom. It is an absolute mess in here. I have like clothes all over the place. It's not always neat and tidy like you see it in the videos. Usually it is, but for some reason I have let things go. So I'm going to take a shower, do my hair. I am going to then set a timer for 20 minutes and I am going to clean my washroom and also put away some of these clothes. Sorry, siren. So shower, I'm going to set a timer to do some cleaning. That is my best way to kind of do cleaning, is I just set a timer and I get things tidied up and picked up. And I had taken a bunch of t-shirts out because I don't seem to have any t-shirts really good for working out right now. Like they're all either fraying or old or whatever. And then after I do my timer and do my housework and that type of stuff, I might kind of go and do some reading. I'm not really sure yet. This house really needs a lot of looking after, so that is what I'm going to be doing. Also, I thought I'd show you some of the things that I bought at Shoppers Drug Mart the other day. Because I had this $50 gift card, I was able to get some things that are kind of a treat. So I'm going to turn this camera a little bit more this way, and hopefully we'll get better light, and I will show you what I bought. Okay, none of these products here are sponsored. They're just products I love. I rarely buy these because I think they're a little bit pricey. So whenever Shoppers Drug Mart has this deal where if you spend so much money, you get a $50 gift card, and I use it to buy luxuries, things that I love. So what I got is, so disorganized. So one of my favorite facial cleansers, it's called Purity, and it's by the brand Philosophy. Love, love, love this. I bought the extra large size. This will last me like practically the whole year. And then one of you was asking me in a comment section what my favorite shower gel is, and I kind of like the shower gels by Salt & Stone. They sell them in Sephora here, but my probably all-time favorite is this. It's called Radiant Grace by Philosophy, and it smells like jasmine and cherry and that type of thing. I'm going to try and link some of these in the description so that you can check them out and see if you want to try any of them. Also, these are new to me. I haven't tried these out yet. This is called the Ultralight Moisturizer by Philosophy. And then there is this Hope in a Jar serum. It's the Biome Balance Glow Serum. So haven't tried these products, but they're like these cult favorites with a lot of the influencer girlies out there. So call me being influenced. I'm going to give them a try and maybe report back at some later date on what I think. I always like trying new stuff. I don't know about you, but if it means that it doesn't really come out of my specific budget and I get to buy some new things, I like to try out some new face stuff every now and then. I tend to use the same things pretty much longer term, and then I get bored with it and I just want to try something else. I don't know if any of you are like that, but that's what I like. So, all right, I'm going to take a shower and then I'm going to clean the bathroom and try and put away my clothes. What an exciting weekend. Great, exciting life I lead. All right, so we are going to set our timer for 20 minutes. I like to do this. There we go. I like to do this because it kind of keeps me on track. I know I want to get my room cleaned up. So when I set the timer, I just get to it. I have so many clothes laying around. And part of it is that I had got some new items to lounge around in for the summer. And then I just kind of would take them out of the bag and stick them out here and not even bother pulling the tags off and taking the things and putting them in the drawer. my timer just went off and I am not quite finished the washroom. I got my whole bedroom cleaned up, so I still have the washroom to go. All I have left to do is to clean the floor and the countertop. It's going to be quick and I'm going to get it done. All right, I am finished the bedroom and the bathroom, and so while I'm doing this, of course, I did the entire bedroom. I vacuumed it and I just straightened things out and managed to declutter a few things out of my closet. This is what happens when you set your timer for like 20 minutes. You just keep going even afterwards and get a little bit more done than you were expecting. And this is how I like my cleaning to be. Every day I set a timer for 20 minutes and I just go to town during that 20 minutes, and it's amazing how much I can clean up. And then I don't have to do any of this deep clean kind of stuff. So I am going to do some work in my yard today, and I put my patio furniture out about 3 weeks ago, and literally the day after I put everything out, it started pouring rain for like 3 weeks straight. So today I'm just cleaning up the yard a little bit, watering some plants, and my patio furniture is out. It's really gorgeous out, the birds are out, and I thought I would take you through a little tour of my garden. So during the summer, I usually like to spend a little bit of time just puttering around. So I am going to do some watering. It's pretty warm out today. It's probably around 24 degrees, so 25 or so. Gorgeous day, very sunny. I can hardly see. So I'm going to water some plants, put some water into my bird baths, and maybe sit outside for a little bit and just enjoy. I also need to clean up my patio because my rugs are kind of icky, so I might hose those down today. The birds are like going like crazy. The patio looks really good. So let me give you a little tour of my patio. So basically, this is my setup. I've had this furniture for a long time. It comes from Ashley Furniture. I don't really know anything else about that store except that I got my patio set there. I have a really nice planter here. So the pot came from HomeSense and the plant came from Golden Acres, I think, here in Calgary. And then I have a setup right here. And I've had this mask for, I want to say like 20 years now. Anyways, that little pot of plants came from Canadian Tire. And then I have this one here, and that one's from Golden Acres, and I've had the pot forever. And here's my garden bed. So I have some hostas, and next to it I think is lady's mantle. And then I have another hosta, and I have this really cutie little leaf, kind of a bird bath thing. I don't know where it came from. Maybe Golden Acres. I have some thyme here with the dandelion growing in the middle. Then I have this fuzzy stuff. I have no idea what that is. Trying to get it without my camera shadow is hard. Then I have these little buttons in the background here. And my peonies this year are incredible. Like, look at all the blooms. They are everywhere. There's tons of ants on them, which are needed to make the blooms bloom. And the birds are competing for my microphone. Love it. I have another hosta down here. I have some chive and some thyme beside it. Some more lady's mantle, another hosta. And then in my plant pots, I have some rosemary. And then I have these little, I don't know what they are. I have some, I don't know if this is lavender or sage. Maybe someone might know. It has purple flowers, so I think it's lavender, but I don't know. Then I have this huge mint plant here. I like to plant herbs and flowers. And then this bird bath I have had for like, oh, I want to say 20 some years as well. So let's see if I can give you kind of a more, vlogging is hard, y'all. Just not sure it's my thing. But I always say try something new. So here is the garden bed. And let me go even further back so that you kind of get the whole view. It's a really tiny garden bed, but you know what? I love it. There we go, that's my garden. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what am I reading? And so I read a lot of romance because it's absolutely brainless. I can just sit there and absorb some words and totally escape. So you don't need to hear about the romance books I read. But I am reading this one book. It's called Sophie's World. I've read this book before, but many years ago. And I'm thinking like 10 years ago or even more. I'm not sure. And it's kind of a cool book. It's not something that you will read in like one sitting. And essentially what it's about is it follows a 14-year-old girl. Her name is Sophie Amundsen. She lives in Norway. And I think the author of this is from Norway as well. And she starts getting these mysterious, she starts getting these mysterious letters. The letters have these questions in them like, who are you? Where does the world come from? It's all these philosophical questions. And pretty soon she has this like mysterious instructor called Alberto Knox, and he's teaching her about philosophy. And every chapter covers a different philosopher, and it has some amazing lessons on philosophy and the Enlightenment and religion and all kinds of very esoteric and philosophical things. It's a really cool book. I can't even do it justice to really explain what it's about. In any case, the book also has this amazing twist towards the end, which I will not talk about because I urge you to read it to kind of get the gist of the twist. But the lessons in the book are so cool, and you do learn a lot about philosophy and looking at things from different points of view. I find the book kind of educational, but because it's got this little plot twist in it, it's fun as well. I definitely highly recommend. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm sorry if it's a Canadian link, but that's all I got. So that is what I'm reading lately. And today is Wednesday, and I have a gazillion errands to run. I'm supposed to be getting my hair done, but I have a feeling I messed up my appointment. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to go over there. There's no phone number for the place where I get my hair done. So I'm going to go over there, see if I actually have an appointment. And if I don't, it's okay, because there's like the coolest little shop next door, or just like a few blocks down from where I get my hair done. And it's called Stealing Home, and they have the neatest stuff. And also the place I get my hair done, which is actually a barber shop, because my hairdresser owns all these barber shops. He owns Cannibal Barbers here in Calgary. But he does do women's hair for a few of his clients that date back, way, way back, like myself. But he is located in a shop called Gravity Pope, and they have a lot of cool stuff there as well, clothing and shoes and all kinds of things. So I am going there, and hopefully I have a hair appointment, because if I don't, I'm going to cry. So I figured out that my hair appointment is not till tomorrow. Glad I figured it out and didn't actually go all the way to the place where my hairdresser is. Thought I would show you how I make some of the Costco food that I purchased in my last Costco haul. So I got these chicken tender breast things. They were frozen, and I'll try and link my video with the Costco haul somewhere so you can see what I purchased. You can hear my air fryer pre-warming in the background. Sorry about that. It's going to stop any second. Whenever I do anything in my air fryer, because I get a lot of questions about my air fryer, I pre-warm the air fryer at 400 for, I think the setting is like 4 minutes for a preheat. So what I'm going to do is place a paper towel on a plate, because I want to make sure the chicken, there we go. I want to make sure that the chicken is dry, because if it's dry, it works out better in the air fryer. And I just hate touching raw meat of any kind. I mean, I know I can wash my hands and everything, but I really don't like it. So I just kind of put them on my paper towel. This is such a simple meal. I feel bad kind of showing this in a video and pretending it's part of a vlog, because it's so simple. So I have it between the paper towels. I take a tiny bit of oil, and I just put maybe not even a quarter of a teaspoon on the bottom of my plate. And then, oops, what I do is just place the chicken tenders. I'm making 3. I don't know if I'll even eat 3, but I'll make 3. If anything, I can always use 1 tomorrow. And I essentially kind of swirl it in that little teeny tiny bit of oil. And then I just do the same teeny drizzle on the top and flip them, and then do the same thing. So what I do with the mine is I use this spice brand. I think it's like, I don't know, it's hard to find here in Canada. It's Watkins. I'm not sure if this is like an American brand or where it's from. I get it at Superstore or on Amazon. And this is the sweet and savory rub. And I know I can make my own, but I couldn't be bothered because this is so amazing. My son introduced me to these. And so I just basically rub this on the chicken on both sides. I don't think you need to see a close-up of me rubbing chicken. But I just make sure I do it on both sides. And I don't put a lot. I don't know. I just kind of sprinkle it on and rub it in. I just want my chicken to have a little bit of flavor. So what I do, because I'm not going to be making you sit through the air fryer going, I will air fry these at 400 degrees in total for 12 minutes. So 6 minutes on each side. So I will air fry 6 minutes on one side, then I'll flip them, do 6 minutes on the other. And then what I do is I just put them on a plate and I will let them sit with a little bit of foil on top, tenting them because, I don't know, it makes them juicier, it makes them taste better. So that is what I'm going to be doing with the chicken. I air fry everything in these parchment liners because I could not be bothered to clean my air fryer. I mean, it's just a pain in the butt, if you all know what I mean. So that is what I'm doing for my protein tonight. All right, so my chicken is done. I'm going to do some veggies. Now, sometimes I have the chicken pre-prepped. I don't do all this air frying in one night. I do pre-prep my proteins. So I bought these sheet pan sheet pan veggies. And what I do is I just put them in the bowl. I just put a few, like a little bit, a teeny tiny bit of oil. I add in a little tiny bit of garlic powder, a little tiny bit of salt, a little tiny bit of onion powder, and some red pepper flakes. And then I just kind of stir it up. I put it in the same parchment liner for my air fryer. And in the air fryer, I do these at 400 degrees. I do them for 8 minutes. Then I shake my air fryer pan and I do another 8 minutes. I like mine a little bit crispy. So I will get these done and then I will come back and show you how I serve it up for myself. I am very quickly losing light here, so I'm going to do this quick. Basically what I do is I have some of my lettuce on the bottom of my bowl, and I use that lettuce that I buy at Costco. Then what I do is I actually put the grilled or the air fried veggies on top. Even though they are still warm, I just put them on top. Okay, and then I take my chicken and I slice it up and I put that on top of this vegetable lettuce concoction. And then I take my Costco tzatziki, and yeah, I know you can make your own, but as I discussed in that video, I was too lazy and I just bought some. Anyways, I put a big dollop, about 2 tablespoons worth, on top of that. And that is my dinner. I'm going to try and insert kind of a better B-roll photo picture. Anyways, that's dinner tonight. Good morning, everyone. I am off to the hairdresser today. I'm so excited. I had a really bad night. I didn't sleep at all, like not a wink. And I was actually so out of it this morning when I got up that instead of putting toothpaste on my toothbrush, I put face wash. I have this little face wash in a tube beside the sink for mornings, and I put face wash on my toothbrush. I'm wearing eye patches because it's that bad. If you're wondering what my eye patches are, they're this brand here. I'll try and focus on this here. It's called Abib, A-B-I-B, and they are from this Korean beauty place that's in the mall near me. They're not expensive. They're like $27 or something. But someone told me you can get this in Costco. So try Costco because maybe they're a little bit less money. Anyways, I'm off to the hairdresser and I need to shower and get myself looking at least a little bit presentable, and I will take you along. Last time I posted a video of I did my hair, everyone wanted to know your name, and I was like, I don't know if I want to share. It's already hard enough to get in there. all done my hair. It looks pretty good. All right, everyone, I am back from the hairdresser. I have new hair. I'm feeling like myself again. And I'm going to cut the vlog here. It's already getting way too long. And let me know what you think about the vlogging, be honest. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm always up for trying something new, and I just thought this would be kind of fun to do. It turned out to be a lot of work. It was a lot of work. All the respect to all the vloggers out there. So this is it for this week. I will see you all next week at my regular time. Bye!